Hi family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And for those of you that are new on this channel, I am Helena Hisiboye, your host. And on this channel, I teach about natural hair, or I talk about all things natural hair, where I give you tips on how to take care of your hair, how to ensure that it's growing long and healthy, and everything in between. So welcome. And please, may you go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a new video, you'll be the first one to know. So today, I am going to take you through how you can take down your protective style. But in this case, braids, it can be any type of braids. But these are knotless braids that I'm taking down. And follow along so that you'll see how you can take down your hair without causing a lot of breakage or damage to your hair and retain the growth that you just got from this protective style. So let's get right into it. First of all, we are going to need a few things to go through this whole process. And one is a pair of scissors, which will help you to cut your braids shorter to reduce, the time you'd have taken while bringing down these braids. And then secondly, we shall need a rattle comb or toothpicks, or you can use your fingers as well in this case. So this will also be to help you take down your braid safely without hurting your hair or damaging it in any way. And then thirdly, we shall need leave-in conditioner and water. And these two are very important in this takedown. So we are going to mix these two together, that is leave-in conditioner and water, to get a mixture that has a lot of sleep. And this will also help you to moisturize your braids and your hair before you start taking them down. And then lastly, we shall need a wide tooth comb or a mid-sized tooth comb, and this will help us in detangling our hair as we take it down braid by braid. So let's get right into the video. So my braids were actually super long. They were really long. And there is also a reason as to why I chose this kind of style. And I know some of you will be worried, thinking maybe this damaged the hair or caused tension, but no, that actually didn't get to happen. So stick along so that you'll get to hear my reasons or my story behind this protective style and the braids in the first place. Because meanwhile, this was the first time in 2 years of me braiding my hair. So please don't miss that. So let's get the process going. So to begin with, I am going to use my spray bottle, which has my mixture of water and leave-in conditioner, in this case, Canto. So I'll go ahead and spray that mixture onto my hair and make sure you reach every strand, like spray the entire head, most especially on your scalp and on your roots, because that's the part that is more prone to breakage. So spray your head really well and reach every bit, reach every strand. So after that, I'll go in with my pair of scissors and start chopping the braids shorter. And while you're trying to chop your braids, please make sure not to cut your hair. So be attentive. Look through the braid and see where your hair stops. Chop below that, below their hair length, because if you're not careful, you'll end up chopping your hair. That's not what we want, because we're aiming at long, healthy hair. Long, healthy. That's not what we want, because we are aiming at long, healthy hair in this process. So, yeah. So guys, that's how long my hair was. Even after chopping, it was still long. Yeah, so I had really long braids. And now I'll go in with my fingers and start unraveling the braid. Slowly, gently, just go in and unravel. And this process actually needs patience, mostly because this takes time. Because it took me like about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. Yeah, it was that long. So I just put music in the background and I made sure to enjoy the process of taking down my braids, but also making sure not to cause any damage to my beautiful hair. And actually, I was so surprised by these braids because I had these braids on for about 2 to 3 months. Yeah, by the time I'm taking them down, they're almost 3 months. But guess what? My hair grew like crazy. Like, look at that. Look at that length. Even when you serrate at the scalp, like, it may look big, so you're thinking maybe it didn't grow. But when I got them, they were actually a bit tight. Not so tight, but they were a little bit tight. So that hair that you see on my head wasn't there. So all that is growth. And it really helped my hair to flourish for those 2 to 3 months because I was going through a lot at that time and I had kind of neglected my hair. Yeah, I'm guilty. So I had really neglected the hair and it was like the list of my problems. I didn't want to know. Like, I was not even thinking about hair. So that's why I chose to do this protective style. That's why I chose to do these braids after 2 years of not visiting the salon, of not doing any kind of braids on my head. All I did was twists for 2 years and that's it. That's what I did. By this time around, these braids were my savior. They were the only thing I had to hold on to keep my hair on my head. Otherwise, maybe I would be bald by now. So I'll go ahead and try to take them down. And as you notice, when I get down to the roots, I am slowing down a bit. Why? Because while they're starting that braid, it is a little bit tighter compared to the other parts of the hair. And as it is tight, that's why you want to be extremely careful because that part right there is the most sensitive part on your hair, on your head. The roots are extremely sensitive. So be careful with that. And guys, do you see how my hair has grown? Look at that. It has grown, but I have a little bit of trimming to do because the ends are not looking that good. But yeah, it looks way better than I expected because by the time I plaited this hair, things were not good. They really weren't. So I'll go in again with my mixture of water and leave-in conditioner. Spray it again on the hair because now it's time to detangle the hair. So patience, slowly. And then I noticed there is a thread that was still on the hair. They had used a thread to bring together that section so it becomes easier to plait. So carefully take down that thread. Slowly but carefully take it down and then proceed with our process. So I will now proceed with detangling my hair. And guys, as you're unplaiting, please make sure to detangle section by section. Don't pile together all those sections thinking that you'll come in while you're done unplaiting and then start detangling. That's where the problem is. I feel like that's where most of us mess up when it comes to unplaiting our protective styles. Because at this point, the hair has a lot of build-up, it has a lot of dirt, and it's way tangled than you think. So if you wait to unplait every single bit, every single section, and then that's when you want to detangle, you will be shocked at how much hair you'll end up losing because of breakage. So after unplaiting every section, go on and detangle. First finger detangle to remove the shading that is in your hair because there is a lot, especially if you've plaited it for a month and beyond. 1 month, 2 months, you have a lot of shading by this time. So go ahead and finger detangle, and then after that, go in with your wide tooth comb and comb through the remaining shaded hair. So that's why I'm doing right there. Comb through. And when you're combing and you notice that maybe the comb can't go through for some reason, maybe because of all the build-up on your hair, especially down there where the braid starts from. If you notice that your comb is not shifting, don't force it through. Just go back in with your water and leave-in conditioner mixture, spray on your head, and try to finger detangle a little bit, then go back in with your comb. Yeah, and that's when you'll get the best results. And remember, patience is key in this process. Don't be harsh on your hair. Take your time. So if you're to sit down and do this, make sure that you haven't made any programs that will put you under pressure because you have to be somewhere. Because you'll need at least 1.5 hours to 3 hours. It might even take you 4 hours depending on how many braids you have on your head. So please, patience, patience, patience. So when you're done detangling that section, go on and braid it. In this case, I twist my hair. I love twisting my hair because it's very easy to take the twist down. Then it's really good at protecting the hair. So it's my best protective style so far. So that's my go-to style. So I'll go ahead and twist that section and put it aside. And guys, look at that length. Look at how much my hair was saved from breaking just because of these protective braids. Yeah, look at that. Like, I was really, really, really impressed while taking them down. I'm not even over this. Like, I still look back and I'm like, wow. So after twisting the very first braid, I now went through the whole head with my scissors and I cut down all the braids to shorten them because I could not wait to unravel at least one braid to see how my hair is doing. So when I was done twisting my first braid, I now decided to go in with my scissors and chop all those braids and make them shorter. Yeah, and don't forget to look at your hair length before you shorten your braids, before you cut them shorter, because you might end up cutting your hair, so be careful with that. So I went through the entire head and chopped them down. And after that, I just continued doing exactly what I did on the very first braid. You know, spray it a little bit with conditioner and water. And then after that, when you feel like it's damp enough, go in with your fingers, unravel the braid, and move on with the process. But patience is key, so don't forget that. Be patient, don't be harsh on your hair, and then continue the process. And guys, I guess now as you continue to watch the video and see how the takedown went, let me give you a little bit background or a story as to why I ended up with these braids, these very long braids on my head. So a few months back, actually while I was starting, that was around Feb, to be precise, it was 11th February, something very bad happened, very unfortunate. So I lost my brother and it was very shocking to me, so I couldn't take the news. I couldn't. It was really hard for me to analyze, to take in, because he wasn't sick, he wasn't. But anyway, that's life. Life happens. So life happened. I lost my brother, and from Feb up to May, I was really down. Like, I felt like I was depressed. Maybe I was depressed. But I was fighting so hard to get out of it because I noticed certain things, and that's not where I wanted to be. That's not where I wanted my mental health to be. So while I was dealing with that, my hair took the hardest blow. It really suffered. Because at that moment, I was not thinking about this hair at all. I wasn't. It was the list of my problems. Yet before that, I really, really, really loved taking care of my hair. I enjoyed my wash days. I loved, just being there and seeing it healthy, seeing it protected. But this time around, it took it hard. It suffered. Because I would just fall in bed and sleep just like that. I no longer washed it. I no longer followed my routine. So in a month, if it was lucky, I would wash like once a month, or maybe go the whole month without washing. So around May, I sat down and I was like, but this is not good. I should get at least some kind of solution for this hair. Because while I was not ready mentally to fully come back and start taking care of this hair, I didn't know what to do at the moment. So I just thought, like, what if I actually go back to braiding my hair? What's the worst case scenario? What's the worst that can happen? But I knew deep down that while I get these braids, I also have to be able to protect the braids from breaking the hair, from ripping out my hair. So that's what I did. And then I thought, okay, I've taken 2 years without plaiting my hair or braiding it in any way. So I just decided if I'm to get this style, if I'm to get these protective braids, let me get something that I love. Let me get something fun. That's why the hair you see on my head is extremely long. It's very long, but it was fun having this hairstyle. And in some way, I feel like it played a part in helping my mental health. It brought me some vibe. It brought me some positivity to try and fight and get out of that state that I was in. So I'm so thankful to this hair. And on top of that, it actually did a great job protecting my hair from whatever had come to squash it all away from my head. So I'm so grateful to these braids. They were fun having, and actually got a lot of attention because of these braids. It kind of helped me to get back to talking to people, because I used to receive compliments like all the time. Oh, Helen, nice hair. Oh, Helen, where did you get your hair done from? Or, it was fine. So I'm super grateful. And now that I'm manipulating it and seeing the length, guys, seeing that I still have hair on my head, I'm amazed. Like, I'm blown away. So I know that most people don't believe in braids, Once you're on that journey of natural hair, you have to be extremely careful with whatever you do with your hair. But it also depends on how you take care of those braids. So while my braids were super long, I made sure that they were always in a high puff, then I let them fall. Because I knew that if I just let them flow down my head, if I don't hold them fast, they are heavy, first of all, because they are super long. So they were going to rip out my hair. It was going to be very easy for my roots to start falling out. So I made sure at all times that my hair was in a bun, in a high puff at least, or sometimes in a bun. If I still wanted to let it fall, I made sure to hold it first in a puff, and then I would let it fall. But I was still, I was still smart. I was still wearing good. And above all, my hair was still protected. So I was super thankful to this protective style. I still am. So don't always fear to braid your hair once in a while. So whenever you braid your hair or put it in any type of braids, it can be locks, it can be, whatever braids you want to do. First of all, make sure the braids on your head are not so tight, because that tightness is not great for the hair. It will rip out your roots. So make sure the braids are not over tightened or tight in any way. Let them be loose. And then secondly, after getting that braid that you love, you're smart, you know, you look good, please have some kind of oil so that you're always oiling your scalp. You're always bringing back the moisture in your hair. And that way your hair will be good to go. It won't break, it won't be damaged. And you'll be good. You'll look good, your hair will be protected. But again, don't let your braids overstay on your head. And for those of you that love going to salons, because I know taking down braids can be work, it can be too much. So for those of you that love going to salons, go to a salon that you trust. Go to a salon where you're very sure that the people in that salon know how to take care of natural hair. They know what they're doing. They know how to moisturize your hair, or you've been there before and you trust them. And don't allow more than 2 people on your head to start unplaiting, because that's where all the problems will start from. That's why for some people, I've had this over and over, like people try to grow hair 3 years in, 4 years in, no length, no nothing. Like you see your hair growing actually on your scalp, but you don't see any length. Because when it comes to unplaiting, you have to be extremely careful. That's where all your hair falls out and you end up with nothing. All the growth that you had retained from that protective style will go down the drain just like that. Because as it's growing from your scalp, all the tips are falling off. The salon people, anyway, it's not all of them, but most salons that I have visited, especially in Uganda, don't really know how to take care of natural hair. So be careful which salon you go to. Be careful which people you visit to deal with your hair, to unplait your hair, to plait your hair. Consider all those things. At least if you want to have great natural hair, if you want to have hair that is healthy and shiny and it has length and you're proud of it, be careful about where you go to get your hair done. Be it a wash day, be it plaiting, be it getting any protective style. Take precaution, yeah. And guys, we are finally done with doing our hair, with unplaiting, and this is how our hair looks. I am so happy. Yeah, of course it is dirty. 2 months is a long time. Not 2.5 months. It's a really long time. I'm just going to go and wash the hair, and I'll come back with another video to show you how my hair turned out after washing and what I did. Guys, that's how much hair I lost. So that's all the shedding, and if there was any bit of breakage, that's how much it is. But a lot of it is shedding, because after 2 months of having braids on your head, expect some kind of shedding. So I'm okay with that. It's not alarming. I expected it. But overall, my hair is great. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share, you know, keep the conversation going. Ask all the questions you'd love to ask, and I'll be here to answer whatever questions you have. So don't fear. If you have anything you'd love to know, if you have any topic you'd want me to talk about natural hair and how to grow your hair and the things I use, please leave it below in the comment section. And guys, see you next time. Bye bye.